Yo. Big up, big up. This is this is one of them random bills, bruv. You know, people want to get their knowledge off the chest, you know. So let me add my brother. Going live, see man jump on there because this build should be nice and quick, you know, quick to chop up. Needs to be had though. Let's go, man. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Big up, big up. Rock and roll, man. Mad thing. Nah, no, the bad blood. One of those Fridays, boy. Straight back from work. So let's go, man. Let's get straight into it. Brother, one time I said do the same thing, bro. This thing is mad, bro. Instagram going mad. I'm gonna invite, bro. Press the same thing about 10 times, bro. Well, go on. Yeah, bro. How many times sent the request? Isn't able to join. What's up, bro? I'm inviting, man. Let's see how you doing, blood. There you go.
Yeah, is it working, yeah?
Yeah, man, we're on it still. You got to see it.
Okay, I think it took a while and it was a delay.
Yeah, it's a mad thing. Yeah. Yo, yeah, man. So, boy, you the one that's, you know what I mean, shouting these here already, you know? So, big up. Hey, listen, shout yourself for the people that might not know who you are and what you do, you know what I mean? Introduce yourself and all that, you know, because I know who you are, blood. You know what I mean? So, you got me. This is for Eazi's family, you know what I mean? Might not know who you are and etc. Still. I'm just a little bit sidetracked because there's some CID driving around. Don't know what they're doing, but it's a bit mad. Yeah.
We got viewers here.
Huh?
We got viewers here.
Have I got viewers here?
On the live, I mean.
Nah, at the moment, bruv, when it comes to certain subjects, blood, I don't really, you know what I mean? If it's all this hype thing, you see bear man jumping. When it comes to science and health and that topics, I don't really get too much still.
Nah, fair enough, I hear that.
But then again, everything's recorded. I'm on GoPro as well, so it goes on my channel, blood. So
oh, sweet, okay.
So everyone's gonna seek the knowledge regardless, blood. But yeah, man.
Yeah, of course. So you know what it is? I heard I watched a clip of what Matchfit put up of your live on his Instagram, and what it was is that it was weird because Matchfit's point of view from when I last saw him was vegan everything, you get me? But his point of view seemed to have changed a bit, and I don't know why. I ain't spoke to him about it specifically, but I'm just going off what he's saying. What he's saying, his diet has changed up, this and that, based off his Instagram stories, innit?
Yeah, mad.
And yeah, there was another brother in his video. I don't know who he is, but he was basically saying how eating meat is making people obese, this and that, rare. So obviously, there's where my disagreement comes in. Car, you know me, it's like I'm always up for listening for people's point of view. You get me?
Yeah.
Like in my books, there's no wrong or right. It's what works for you. When he say, "Yo, meat makes you obese," I'm like, brother, come on, come on, nah. You can't just say eating meat make you fat. Like there's got to be a lot more to that and a lot more context. You get what I'm saying? Man can say if you eat too much apples, that's gonna make you fat. You know what I'm saying?
Man can say that if you don't provide scientific method of how it can happen. Yeah, man can say anything really.
that's what I'm saying. And from what I saw, like I said, I only saw the clip of what Matchfit put up, but I didn't hear the other brother's reasoning behind what he said. So I'm like, right where my disagreement is there of like, you can't just throw out opinions or whatever, or viewpoints like that and not have something to back it up with. Cause I can turn around and say, well, yo, so-and-so who I know has been eating meat for 10 years and they lost a shit ton of weight. But then they can say to me, show me the proof.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it goes both ways. I just made up just there and then.
Yeah.
But again, anyone would be like, show me the proof. You know what I'm saying? So it's a bit mad when you hear them things.
Do you know what it is as well? That's the reason why I always like empathize on the fact that like we need to be objective when we talk. Regardless, we need to be objective. So everyone's gonna have those single people or the experiences. Your experiences, my experiences, Matchfit's experience, Nature Man experiences. It is valuable, but when it comes to a discussion about health, it doesn't hold no weight because your experiences, it's gonna be different to the next man. You get it? Yeah, so you can't hold that as proof or evident on your stance. You get it? That's why I always say man's got opinions all day. I can talk about, you know what I mean, how many people that might have been healed after my advice, or how many people that been got put on some mad problems because of a certain dietary. But I never expressed those experiences, you know what I mean? Because I know that everyone's gonna have those type of experiences, one shape or form, if it's on the positive or the negative. I just go into the objective, what the statistics say, you know what I mean, and then we can move on. We can move on from there. So I think that clip there kind of was a little bit vague. So I think you should have watched the whole content which was on my channel. I think that would have been a little bit more better for you to do, to come up with a stance of where he might have come up with that reasoning. But yeah, right. I don't know like, still.
Man can send me that link after.
Yeah.
And I can go watch that. But regardless, this discussion here, I want to know your viewpoint off of that clip there, in terms of like because I know you. Like I know what you're about and whatnot, right? I look at you as in our group, like you're a scientist, you're a doctor, you're a herb and this and that, you know everything, you get me?
Well, I tried, student.
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah.
It's just like, so I want to know, where do you stand in terms of what he said? Do you agree? Do you somewhat agree? Do you disagree? Like, what is it in terms of, because you said specifically in the message in terms of black people eating meat, is it good for us?
Okay, yeah. So, okay. When we deal with the meat source, we know that it contains what you have saturated fats, quite high abundance worth of saturated fats. With my issue with meat altogether is the fact that it kind of overloads you with substance, non-essential, and obviously some essential, but it overloads you with stuff with content that is not necessarily needed, you know. And you know how you used the example as if you eat too much apples, it can cause a detrimental to your body. Yeah. This is basically my stance with meat. But meat, you can have, like, just say even up a leg that can provide you a high source of a specific amino acid that then cause a ripple effect to your body. So instead of having 10 apples or 100 apples for you to get a sickness or a form of dysfunctional factor in your body, you can trigger something from eating just one leg of chicken. So this is where my disagreement with how meat should be, how meat is beneficial for the body. I think it's like, for me, it's like a form of drug. Everyone's looking for a fast form of drug. Everyone wants to get big fast. Everyone wants to get the iron fast. Everyone wants to get B12 fast. And meat kind of gives you that because it's a high content of it, but it doesn't consider the ripple effects that happens to the body afterwards. And that's my main issue with meat.
Okay. Now, when you say meat, do you refer to processed meat or straight from the farm butcher's meat?
Both.
Or are you talking all meat?
Both,
So
yeah.
you're talking both, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. All right. My question is, would you say that is accurate to everybody who's always eaten meat, or just that's been a few examples, a few cases that has happened?
What has happened as what happened? Because there's many factors that meat cause a detrimental to your body.
All right, so you say meat can be detrimental to your body in terms of it can provide you with too much of the stuff that you don't need, this and that.
Yeah.
All right, so my thing is, okay, but what are those effects specifically that you're talking about? I'm saying is that led to sicknesses, cancers, illness, deaths. What are we talking?
We're talking about strokes. We're talking about heart attacks. We're talking about clogged up arteries. We're talking about acidosis. We're talking about calcification, kidney stones. We're talking about cancers. We're talking about disrupting your DNA. We're talking about come on, man, what's that term? Free radicals. We're talking about disrupting the microbiome. We can go in. I can keep on going with the list of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. I'm just asking, obviously, I need to know for context the conversation.
Yeah.
But with those things happening, would you say that's only happened to a subset of people or a lot of people?
A lot of people, bro. It's a high status. Do you know why? It's a term called carcinogenesis. Yeah. Carcinogenesis is basically what it means is substance that cause cancers in their cells. I'm not just saying it, I'm just using that, yeah. So stuff that cause cancers to your cells. We know that alcohol is bad, yeah. That is labeled us under carcinogenesis. We know cigarettes is bad. Yeah, that's labeled under carcinogenesis. We know that toxic substance from car fumes are bad. There is labeled under the category of carcinogenesis. Meat is up there. Red meat specifically, red meat and processed meat is up there. It's up there with the cigarettes, the alcohol, the toxic chemicals. Red meat and processed meat is up there with that category of classified 1 carcinogenesis. So that's on the cancer research. So you can find that in Cancer UK. There's many sources that you can validate my information. So that's crazy if you think about it. If you're comparing it as cigarettes, then that's a little bit mad. That's So that's just one point.
All right, but let me ask you this, yeah. You see when you mentioned things like calcification and kidney stones before as one of those things that come on the list, yeah? But what about this, yeah? This one thing I heard as well is that what you just said, where that can come from meats, I've also heard that can happen if you have too much green vegetables, such as spinach.
Okay.
That people have had issues in terms of calcification of kidney stones. So is it a case of maybe this ain't just meat, but it can exist in all types of food?
Yeah, but then you'll have to break it down what cause calcifications. You have to show me what's the components that cause calcifications. You have to break that down. Because I can break it down for you.
Okay, right, but the thing is, being real, I don't know.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, that's just something I've read up myself. That calcification and kidney stones, those two things, I don't know how high or how low the statistics are, but people have also experienced that from the example that I read was from spinach and other green vegetables. So do you think, whether that's true or not, who knows, but do you think if that is true, there has to be a link there between something that's in the plants and something that exists within the red meat itself? So you can't just say, okay, cool, the red meat is causing it when there are other things causing it that you didn't think. You see what I'm saying? Yeah,
of course. So but then again, if we're talking about classifications, that's not really specifically the red meat. You get where I'm coming from? So I just threw a lot of factors that meat in general causes the detrimental. I didn't mean that all of them come from red meat. I kind of like, So the thing that will cause calcification when it comes to meat products is more of dairy. It's more of dairy and casein, because what causes calcification is the overload of calcium. We know that calcium is very good for the bones. You know what I mean? Very good for bones and etc. But within the dairy product that a lot of people consume, the high load of calcium has to be accompanied with magnesium, with the ratio of 2 to 1, and D3. and D3 for
Yeah,
your
that
body.
I've heard, yeah.
Yeah, but then that's my issue on natural dairy products, unless it's been put in, what's it called again? Fortified, or I forgot what it's called. But when it ain't, no, when it hasn't been man-made, tampered with, I forgot the word.
Genetically modified.
Nah, it's not even that. It's called, do you know when something is lacking something and they introduce something in? It's called fortified.
Oh, like when they put like added vitamins.
Yeah, what's it called? What's it called? It's something with an F. F-O-R-T.
Fortified.
Fortified.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
So when milk and cheese and dairy product ain't fortified and put the D3 and the magnesium in there, that's what it will call. A lot of vegan food are fortified. So don't get me wrong. There's a lot of nutrients that certain dietary or veganism is lacking in. So what they do is fortified certain minerals in and just to make sure you get the upting. But with calcium, with dairy products, it lacks D3 and the magnesium ratio. So that's what causes the overload of calcium in your body that then causes calcification.
Okay.
But then with spinach, but let me go back to spinach. The spinach and this kale. I haven't heard about it having a higher doses of calcium, but I need to look at it. But you can check by the ratios. If it's got D3 and the magnesium is, then we know that okay, it might. So I wouldn't say that 100% spinach doesn't cause calcification, because I don't really know. But there's other factors that kale and spinach does actually cause a detrimental to the body. But I will bring it up because I forgot the word. I think Matchfit might know the word. But that's if you eat it raw. So but when you warm it up and steam it up, it kind of counts off. Yeah.
All right, but the thing is, easy with that, you're easy. Is there a case of when, or instead of looking at things as red meat or dairy is a leading factor of calcification or whatnot, because we can now say the same thing about spinach as the example, that has too much calcium or whatnot in it, but then it is a case of, well, you got to look at what you're eating overall and have a balanced diet so you can introduce those other things like magnesium into the mix. So the good effects of the calcium coming from the meat or from the spinach or whatever is balanced out. Because we can't expect the meat, for example, to have the magnesium and everything just because it has the calcium. You know what I'm saying? We got to look at it like, well, yo, the meat gives me the calcium, or the spinach gives me the calcium. Let me go find my source of magnesium to now add to that to fortify. So we then can't say, yo, the meat causes a calcification. It's like, no, well, it's your responsibility to have something else that has your magnesium, your potassium, your D3, whatever, to then fortify it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like we're expecting the meat to bring everything else because it brings the calcium. It's like, yo, we can't do that because the meat is its own thing.
Yeah.
We can't put the responsibility there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, the thing is, like I spoke with Matchfit before, there's like categories of dietary. So you got the veganism, you got the ITIL, you got the non-eating fish or whatever it is, you know what I mean? And you got even a term called conscious eater. Yeah, so conscious eater is what you're trying to, it's basically being conscious of what you put into your diet. So what I mean, so you will so you will utilize meat, but then you know that you would add in the veg instead of the starch. Because even up to
of course.
Exactly, because protein and even protein and starch is a bad combination for your digestive system your stomach acid to break down, because it's getting two components, two breaking down processes. You know what I mean? So things like that, it's a better way. It would better your way of your health if you're a conscious meat eater. Yeah, so I agree with that point still.
But don't you think like obviously I get where people are coming from when they say meat is bad for you, this and that. And I get where other people are coming from when they say, being vegan ain't good for you for whatever reason,
Yeah.
But for me, I think it's a thing of where do what works for you, right? What you feel is best for your mind and body, right? Because that's why I think everyone should look at things when it comes to what they eat. And like people should really have a problem with he's eating that. But also I look at it like, well, it depends on your lifestyle and what your body can tolerate and what works with your specific body. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I look at it like everybody is different, regardless of genetic makeup, whether you're black, white, Indian, whatever, but we all have differences there, right? But everybody is still different with their own bodies. Like that black man's body might be different from the next black man's body. That white man's body might be different from the next white man's body. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, I really think it's a factor of your lifestyle, how your individual body works for, you know, what you should be putting in your body. Because it's easy for people to say, oh, Africans are originally vegans, this and that, rare, tear. But it's like, I can look at it and be like, okay, but where's the proof for that? Right? And they can say, well, look at that country in Africa, they only eat this and that. But then I can say, okay, but look at that country, they're hanging up the cow and they're burning it to yam. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I think people put too much emphasis on how black people used to be or what they believe that they think they used to be without actually knowing. And it's a case of, I'm all for people saying, oh, but let's go back to the old ways, this, that, and the other. But then I look at it like, okay, but what is the old ways? And do the old ways still apply? Do they still work now? You know what I'm saying? I could say, for
That's
me,
facts.
I can't do veganism. It does not work with my body. Believe it or not, I was vegan for 7-8 years when I was in my 20s. No one knew that how much meat you see me eat. Right? I did it. And thing is, don't get me wrong. I wasn't the healthiest of vegans. I wasn't sitting there eating chickpea curry, lentils, and spinach. I was eating chips. You see what I'm saying? I was eating trash, but I was vegan. But it's a case of, regardless of that, my body wasn't coping without any meat in my system. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, for instance, if I look at my dad, for instance, my dad has been eating red meat, pork, fried eggs, all of that shit his entire life. He's 60 odd, still strong and healthy. You see what I'm saying? If you tell him to do veganism, it'll laugh in your face. But the amount of meat he eats, don't get me wrong, he eats stuff like fish and that as well, but he's been eating pork, which a lot of people demonize, you see what I'm saying, for 60 odd years. Yeah, and he's fit and healthy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My body works the same way, where I will eat a shit ton of red meat and I don't feel bloated or feel puffy or whatever it is like a lot of people say they get when they eat red meat. I can eat 2 burgers and go straight to my bed at midnight. You see what I'm saying? And I will feel fine. Where a next person might be like, yo, that don't work for me because my system don't like that. I get indigestion. I can't digest it. I have to go to the toilet or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I can't say to that person, there's something wrong with you. Their body don't function like mine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where, I don't know, you might get a vegetarian who's different from a vegan despite the similarities they have in the diets naturally. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I really feel like it's a case of do what works for you rather than say, yeah, meat makes you obese. Like, I don't know, what's the guy's name?
Nature Man, brother Nature Man. Yeah, Nature Man, yeah.
I don't want to disrespect
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
So what Nature Man said, saying, you know, meat makes you obese and what, I'm like, brother, like, obviously, you know my thing, I lift weights, I do bodybuilding, right? And I'm used to purposely making my weight go up if I want to, or making it go down if I need to. But one thing that always remains constant is that I know if I want to pack on a good amount of weight, I need to up my meat. At the same way I need to up my carbohydrates and my fats, I know that at the end of the day, my muscle made of meat. You see what I'm saying? It's made of proteins, water, this, that, and the other. So those are the main things that, you know, people been doing since the dawn of weightlifting is that, yo, you want to get bigger, you need to eat more meat. And I feel like that's a lot of common sense for people who are in that game. You see what I'm saying? So obviously I know that works well for me, and you see me at a large size, you see me at a smaller size, you see me at different conditions. So there has to be validity in what I'm saying in terms of how, why, when, where, what people eat when it comes to eating meat. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
I think.
It makes you obese. I'm like, yo, that don't correlate.
Yeah, but remember though, you're training though. So you're training, it's like, you know what I mean? You're
depending on the lifestyle.
Yeah, of course, I'm trying to say. So really, Nature Man can still come back and say to you, you just said that when it comes to putting on weight, you just introduce meat into your diet. So you're basically agreeing with what I'm saying, because that's what he's saying. That meat causes.
No, but he's talking about obesity. Obesity is a case of body fat.
Yeah, body fat.
Muscle.
Yeah.
Muscle
You're
is
right.
what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying?
Now, but then again, if you don't utilize the muscle, Because remember, it's a constant battle between muscle and fats. If you don't utilize your muscles, it then turns into fat.
But the thing is, that's a myth. A lot of people get it wrong. Muscle is a different tissue from fat. That's like saying skin can turn into bone. Well,
Okay.
but that's that. See what I'm saying? They're two different tissue.
Okay.
Muscle tissue and fat tissue is different things. It's like, I understand where people think that comes from, and it's a case of not doing enough research and this, that, rare, tear. But muscle tissue can't turn into fat. The only way you can get
I will look into that though. I'll
is
definitely
if
look
you
at
have
it.
too much calories of any type of food that ain't utilized, it's likely to be stored as body fat.
Yeah.
First, it's turned into sugar and stored in your muscles. When that runs out of room, whatever is it utilized by a protein for natural bodily functions such as skin, hair, and nails, unless you're in a weightlifting bodybuilder scene where you know you want it to be utilized for muscle growth, whatever is left over, then last resort is body fat. But again, what I'm saying is that's with any food group. So when I'm saying, protein, that's the number one thing you need for building muscle. It's a case of, my guy can't say eating too much meat makes you fat, because again, depending on lifestyle. If you're used to sitting down in a chair all day doing nothing, can you be like, I'm gonna go buy a kebab or whatever, go fry some burgers, and you're eating too much food, then that's gonna turn to body fat, because you ain't done doing nothing for your body to encourage muscle growth. But at the same time, man can say, well, you're eating too much bread or too much this or too much rice, and be like, that can't make you fat. And it's like, well, if you ain't doing fuck all, and if you're overeating, yes, it can. You see what I'm saying? So I can say that about the same watermelons he posted on his channel, bruv. If you're eating too much food and you eat a watermelon, after that, whatever your body don't use will go to your sugar storage, then after that, your body fat storage. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think you can't just label things and say,
but there's I hear you. Let me give you a breakdown of how obesity works anyway in a scientific method. So scientific method. I have to look into it, but what out top of my head, saturated causes a lot of people have obesity because it's what is called the leptin resistant. Leptin resistance is a hormone that's in your liver.
Doesn't process it.
In your liver, if I'm not corrected. In your liver, leptin is a hormone that's in your, and then basically, when saturated fats are overloading, not even overloading, just you're getting a lot of saturated fats into your dietary, leptin is produced. Leptin tells your, the ghrelin in your stomach, the leptin sends the hormone, which is a message, neurotransmitter, into your brain to indicate that you need to eat food. Leptin is the hunger hormone. The hunger hormone transmit the information to your stomach acid when it's time for food to be entering, which is ghrelin. Ghrelin is a hormone that is produced in your stomach for food to enter. So that's where it is. When saturated is consumed, it causes a disruption in your leptin hormone, which then produces more leptin. This is from your liver, so your liver produces more leptin. Then when you get overload of leptin, the hormone, the neurotransmitter are sent to your brain. They're telling you that you need to eat food, or no, to stop eating food, not eat food, stop eating food. Leptin is the hormone that tells you to stop eating. When you overload leptin caused by saturated fat to your brain, it stops reading the signal. It stops getting the transmitter hormone that tells you that you need to stop. So what happens, it causes leptin resistance. That means that you can eat and then your body don't know, or your brain is not receiving the information where you need to stop. Ghrelin is a hormone in the stomach that tells you that you need to eat. So you carry on eating. No, I'm hoping that your liver would send a signal to your brain to tell you when to stop, but it doesn't. This is when it causes obesity, which is the adipocytes to start flooding up. Fat cells are called adipocytes. So I hope I didn't confuse people in the beginning, but I just got it right, because this is like information stored in my head. But
to add to that, Eazi, is as well, it's not just saturated fats that cause obesity. So like I said, if you eat anything and it's too much, and your body comes to the end of this, like, what do I do with all this food? It's like a rubbish man carrying too much rubbish and a truck is full. Where's he meant to put the bags? He's gonna leave on the side of the road. That's your body fat storage. You see what I'm saying? So it's a case of, it's the same thing with sugar and insulin resistance, where you put too much sugar, carbohydrates in your body, and you've got insulin problems with this and that, your liver and your pancreas. It's like, we can't digest this. it's gonna throw it straight into your body fat storage.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So whether it's saturated fats or too much sugar from carbohydrates or too much protein from the meats you eat, it's like your body just looks at it as like, yo, we have this much room here, this much room there. If we can't handle this for now, we can't put it in a backup, fuck it, throw into body fat.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking at. So
yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is.
You can eat anything, and depending on what your body's doing and how it's functioning, it's going to be like, we don't need this, put it in body fat. And naturally, that will lead to obesity. You see what I'm saying? But it's like, if you look at the people's lifestyles in terms of people that are obese, all their lifestyles are similar. Like, I ain't trying to disrespect no one or whatnot, yeah, but when you look at people who are obese on the TV or social media or whatever, what do they usually do? They're sitting on their ass, eating kebabs, McDonald's all day, doing fuck all, doing nothing, don't even bathe, yeah? Them man are just, you know what type of people I'm talking about.
Facts.
Probably go get off their arse only to go get cigarettes and beer. Then when they come home, they order their kebab and eat themselves till they fall asleep. They keep doing it over and over again. And then one day they turn around and be like, yo, I got a tuck in my belly to ass, Clark. I can't see my dick. Like, them people there, you see what I'm saying? So it's a case of, it's them people with them lifestyles who don't do nothing with themselves, who just sit down on the Uber Eats, McDonald's kebab. It's like, those are usually, obviously you have some exceptions where, you know, people have health issues in terms of whatever, their body ain't doing this or that right, and it can lead to weight gain. It's the same as some people have health issues that might lead to weight loss. You see what I'm saying? So I get there's exceptions where certain things can't be helped to the same extent. But the grand mass of people, the highest statistics of them people that have obesity, they all got the same lifestyle. Yeah. Big fat doing nothing with their life, sit down and watch TV and order McDonald's all day. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now, but you know what though? The thing is, that's why it's kind of like good for you to speak upon that subject, even when, like, you know what I mean? Because you're not, because like you said that you went vegan. So that means that kind of showed me. Because you know what it is?
8 years, brother.
How long?
8 years, brother.
Mad. All right.
28.
So I reckon, if anything, to have a discussion, you are definitely the right person to have it when it comes to eating meat. Only because you are disciplined. And I bring that factor is because food, and especially certain dietary like McDonald's and etc., like you said, are a form of addiction.
Yeah, they are. They're
and
alcohol, cigarettes, drugs, whatever.
Exactly. And a lot of people, that's why you in your position, you can stand on what you're standing on, because you just told man you stopped eating that for 8 years. So it shows that it's not an addiction thing for you. You're more of a conscious understanding what you need to do to cater to your lifestyle. You get it?
I'm disciplined as fuck, bro.
Yeah,
you know
bro, that's salute.
I know it's the vegan thing that works for me. Like, don't get me wrong. If I was one of the vegans who actually took the time and proper made a chickpea curry, some lentil soup, like a real vegan, like you man do, like you're a match for this and that, a proper vegan who knows their food, maybe my health would have been in a better state. But because even though I was vegan, all I was eating for the most part was junk food, brother, I went to, my weight dropped, like my hair went thin, my skin went dry, them kind of things. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. My health went in the best state. But after 8 years now, when I was like, yo, I don't want to do this no more for whatever reason, man started eating meat, went KFC the next day. I was like, yo, I feel good. You see what I'm saying? But I really believe it's a thing of where my body specifically just ain't cut out for the veganism thing. You see what I'm saying?
Do you know what it is, yeah? Do you know what it is? Regardless, you know what it is, yeah? It's not even a meat or a vegan thing. It is a nutrients factor. That's all it is. Regardless, however, what source of food that gets into your stomach, they break it down for your bloodstreams to take it in so cells can utilize and as energy, ATP. So regardless, it ain't meat that's in your cells are not utilizing meat. Your cells are not utilizing. Your cells are utilizing the nutrients that's within it. So regardless, however you're breaking it down, so that means that if you felt but then there's two factors in there, because now it's your cells that's utilizing the nutrients that you are providing through your dietary, and then you got the microbiome that are feeding off the nutrients that are, so there's two group of factors that are feeding off the nutrients that you put in your body. You know what I mean? So let me just deal with the cells one. The cell one, don't care where it's getting it from, as long as it's the right thing, because there's certain types of nutrients that does cause a detrimental. You know what I mean? And that's my issue again with meat. You know what I mean? So but at the end of the day, your stomach acid breaks him down, the hydrochloric acid, then your small intestines for your villi and then push it through your bloodstream. Your cells pick them up as receptor. It doesn't decipher if it's meat or if it's plant. You know what I mean? It's just a certain nutrients that might have blockers and etc. that might cause a restriction of the bioavailability into your nutrients, but they're all under the same elements and nutrients. You know what I mean? So I think, if anything, if you felt a certain way, it could have been the other. Your microbiome talking to you, saying that I ain't had this for a long time. Let me send the serotonin and the dopamine high that I used to get from this, you know what I mean? Or you was missing a certain amount of nutrients that you wasn't getting from the vegan dietary and got it from the meat. And then now your cells are like...
No, I admit that's a fact. That's 100%. Because like I said, when I was on the vegan thing, like, man, one the healthiest person. You get me?
Yeah.
So I know it's a case of not necessarily that the meat's gone, but more so that the nutrients.
The nutrients, yeah.
But, even then, it's like, because I know my body, I look at it as like, yo, if I would eat meat and I was doing veganism properly, it just wouldn't work with my body and my lifestyle. You see what I'm saying? Like, for instance, it's like, if I wanted to gain the weight that I've managed to gain, or even when I was bigger before this, I couldn't do that with a vegan diet. You see what I'm saying? And I know that's a factor of protein and whatnot, but I know a lot of people. What
protein? What did you utilize for protein in the vegan? Did you try spirulina?
The thing is, like I said, I went into the gym thing at the time.
Okay.
When I was vegan, I was not like, this was long before I was into the gym thing, bro. I was just a marga, you get me? But so even then, I didn't know of any.
Okay.
I didn't care. You see what I'm saying? At the time, I didn't care because I went in the gym thing.
Yeah.
But I'm speaking in terms of now. If I was to do
why did you jump into the vegan thing at that time anyway? Was it because of the Dr. Sebi thing or what?
Not even, bro. I don't know. Like, I was probably just a bored 20-year-old, bro. Like,
oh, and they stopped eating.
I don't even know, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know. It's like, yo, let me try this one, man.
Yeah, that's mad. No, man, that's definitely interesting.
I stuck with it for 8 years. Like, I'll be honest, I stuck with it for 8 years, but I wasn't exactly the best at it. And it was like, I'm bored of this now. Like, I wasn't trying to prove nothing to no one to try to be healthy or whatever. It was just like, yo, let me do this thing and see how it goes, right. And it was like, yeah, this ain't working for me. Then I left it for a day before I made my mind up, and I was like, yo, that day's gone, it still don't work. Going back to meat, you get me? So
I hear that.
Then it went like, but 2 years off, started.
Thing breaking up, boy.
Oh yeah, my signal's changing off. I should be fine soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I come up my yard in it, so I have to cut off the Wi-Fi. It should be fine.
No, I hear that, man. Yeah, no, it's but you know what it is, that obviously you're in a stance of being like conscious eater. That's what I'm saying. Even up to match fit, you're trying to break down the science of being a conscious eater, and it's a good stance. It's a good stance for being a meat eater, because it's gonna be very hard to say, you know what I mean? But you know, as a community, I'm not just attacking MatchFit, or I'm not just attacking you. I'm speaking to the objective now when I talk now.
Right.
And the objective are not disciplined enough to say, I'm gonna try vegan for even a week, brother. You tried it for a year, they're not even disciplined to even put down a chicken for a week. And this is caused by, there's a lot of man-made tampering within the meat source or the meat industry. Like, let me give you...
That's facts.
Yeah, let me give you one example. There's something called monosodium glutamine.
Right.
And basically, this is a type of chemical that you can even buy from fucking Amazon, bruv. And a lot of China people do it. Monosodium glutamate, they buy it and they kind of sprinkle it over the food. And what it does,
Okay.
it kind of intervenes with your neurotransmitter. So it intervenes with your signaling in your brain. So it kind of trick your brain into thinking that what you're consuming is good for your body.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of them things.
So,
but they put a lot of that on processed food, innit?
Exactly.
And like preservatives and things to sweeten things up and to make them last long.
Mad, to trick your brain. Because it plays with your taste buds. Your taste buds got certain ion channels. Ion channels, you know, sour is basically hydrogen, salty is sodium, high in sodium, and then things like sweet is a G protein, it's a GABA taste bud receptor that glutamate that connects to, that triggers off the actual potential. You know, the firing signals in your brain, making you feel that this is something for me to eat. You know what I mean? The addiction factor, the you know what I mean? The drug, the stimuli of drug is high in what's it called again? Dopamine or serotonin. You know, that's what stimulates.
Yeah, the dopamine, yeah.
You know, so that kind of stimulates that factor when you consume food that has monosodium glutamate within the scientists. I'm trying to say, when it comes to science, bro, it's all up in the food industry, and they and they use it even up to the colors that in the shops of McDonald's using picking red and yellow and etc. It's all mindfuckery, you know. So it's a little bit mad.
Yeah, because all the food is tampered with and all of it is just artificially enhanced, as they call it now, for taste or for longevity or for addiction in some ways. You know what I mean? Like a lot of kids' sweets, they all got preservatives and artificial colours that in some countries are even banned.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you come to the UK or America, even worse, they'll be like, yo, we don't care, put all of it in there. And we know it's going to get kids addicted and have them all kind of physical and mental health problem and have them ADHD and being hyper and this and that kind of sugar and the additives turn them crazy. But they're like, yo, it's cool because they're going to get addicted and mommy and daddy's going to buy more of it, so we don't care.
Jeez. Facts, bro. 100%.
Yeah, so I get that. I fully hear it, you know. And it's not just in the kids' sweets now. It always has been in other foods. Like, I feel like McDonald's is the best example because it's like, yo, like, they don't even hide the fact that McDonald's is full of crap, which in some aspects, like, I gotta respect them for, because it's like, we know McDonald's ain't good for us, but so if we go out and buy it, that's on us. But the fact that they use so much crap in their food anyway is a problem. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I read something once where it goes, I don't know if this is just in the US or the UK and other countries as well, but they put an ingredient in the hamburger buns in the bread, which is the same chemical they put in styrofoam gym mats to make it go stiff and to make it go bouncy and spongy. And it's like, if that's what they use for, you know, styrofoam gym equipment to get that kind of texture and that kind of preservation in that, and they're putting it in hamburger buns, like, that can't be good in your system, in your body.
Mad.
You know what I'm saying?
Mad. What about, oh yeah, I got a question. I got a question for you still. Do you utilize keratin in your weight gain?
Not keratin, no. To be honest, I know what keratin is, but I haven't looked into it too much. But I know there's some involvement in it in terms of your fingernails and your bones and things. Am I right?
Nah, it's kind of like a muscle gainer. It helps your muscle. You break.
Keratin.
Yeah, keratin. Yeah.
Wait, do you mean creatine?
Creatine. Sorry. Creatine.
Creatine, yeah. I use creatine. Creatine's good. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, have you even looked deep into the biological structure of creatine and how it's made and how it's produced? Have you looked into it?
Not entirely, dude. The few things I know about creatine, I drop right now. Like creatine, one thing I know is that it's a naturally source substance that is naturally present in a lot of meat, especially red meat. Like there's quite a bit in it, but its function in the case of my lifestyle, which is bodybuilding, is that creatine it floods water into your muscles but in a good way, in a sense of to help drive nutrients there and to help with recovery process in terms of how your body absorbs protein and holds carbohydrates in your muscles. That's the purpose of creatine within that sense. That's what I know about it from that. Now, I've heard other things that you can do to help your health, this, that, and the other, but that's just generic shit that the average person don't need or needs to take it for. It's not a multivitamin, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But in terms of my thing, bodybuilding, it's like, yeah, like, I don't have to use it, but 99% of people are using it. Like, you want to help with your muscle gain and your recovery, this and that, creatine, take it. You know what I'm saying? Take the powder. It's not artificially made. It's naturally sourced from where it comes from. But yeah, it helps a lot. My first year training, I didn't, and I was doing fine. The second year training, I took it, and my results went through the roof again. So it was like, yo, this is good. Like, I feel like it's a must within the sense of my lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? I haven't heard anything bad about it since.
But okay.
You know, you get some dumb people that say, oh, it's a steroid. And it's like, creatine is not a steroid. Like, that's one thing it's not. I wish it was, but it's not. I would take it. You know what I'm saying?
But the thing is, but the reason why I brought that up is because now, obviously, a lot of it is pushed, especially in the weight gain community. But did you know that creatine can naturally be made in your body?
Yeah, your body naturally produces it.
Yeah.
But the thing with creatine is that it produces it in such like small, minute amounts that it's not doing any additional help to what you're doing in terms of you want to gain muscle, You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know, like, look at it this way, yeah? When you first start taking creatine, ideally, you want to load up on it in terms of like, take it for 7 days and take 20 grams a day, right? Now, after that period is done, you only need to take 5 grams a day, right? That's how they say you should do it. That's how I done it. That's how I've been using it, right? That's what everyone does. Now, your body might produce it in less than 1 gram at a time. You see what I'm saying? And one could argue that's your body's natural function. That's how it's meant to do it. Why would you overload that? It's a case of there's no harm being done from taking 5 grams a day. You know, there's never been any study since creatine's inception, which was like late 70s, early 80s, where creatine has ever led to any illnesses or any kind of dysfunction in your body.
Are you sure about that?
Positive, bro. Like, I understand.
I already done a study about creatine. It causes kidney dysfunction, bro.
Say that again.
Kidney dysfunction. It causes kidney dysfunction. And the thing is about overloading keratin, if I'm pronouncing it right, creatine. You know it's different.
Creatine.
Yeah, you know there's a difference within humanoids. Like black people have naturally got more keratin than white people. You know that?
I can believe that because black people are naturally we carry more muscle compared to most white people anyway. Yeah. So that was surprising me. But what I want to ask, were you saying that that case, that situation where you said someone, would you say they got ill? I
won't say so. Don't quote me on it, but I'll have to go back to it still. But I know that high loads of keratin causes a dysfunction within your kidneys as well. Yeah, I'll look into it more. I'll definitely speak about it more. But you know, your body produces it when it gets free form of nutrients. One of them is methionine, one of them is glycosine, and one of them is guanine. So all you need is to consume protein that has methionine, glycosine, and guanine, which is found in mostly all sorts of protein, and then you're creating keratin in your body anyway.
Let me ask you this: that case where they had the kidney issue, right? Was that someone who works out and whatnot?
That is a study on black people.
Okay, because what I was going to say was, right, is that if it was a case of that was someone who trains, works out and whatnot, I can understand where the kidney issue comes from, in the sense that if you have way too much creatine what your body needs, that can cause kidney issues over the long run. And statistically, if you're taking creatine, you're most likely doing weightlifting, specifically bodybuilding, which you're going to be taking loads of protein anyway. You see what I'm saying? So I can see where those two would be linked, because they'd be like, big bad bodybuilder, you fucked up too much protein, now you got kidney issues. You know what I'm saying? And it might be like, no, it's the creatine. It's like, yo, creatine has never been linked to any health defects ever. So it's a bit mad hearing that. But you said it was a study done with black people.
Yeah, black people had high levels of creatine. That's what the study is called under. I've done that research in a bit, and because your body naturally produces it when you eat sources of protein. In black people though, so that's what I'm trying to say. That's why, you know what it is, yeah? I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. There's a lot of gender, even within the scientific world, yeah? We have to be very skeptical on everything that the scientific world pushes out, what the media pushes out and everything. Because it might not just be for you. It might be just for them. It might just be just for the European.
Of course, but easy with that. You got to factor in is that, all right, one thing with creatine, yeah, is that the only side effects, which one might consider negative if you take way too much of it, and you would have to be an idiot to take too much of it anyway, given it's really simple to use, is that you can retain water. That's it. Those are the only side effects that ever come from creatine, and these people will gulping it down, doing double the portions every day, and this.
Well, black people.
Like, yo, why would you do that?
Black people.
Huh?
Black people.
No, I'm saying anyone. Like, if you take too much creatine than you need, the side effect is you'll start retaining water, because one of the functions of creatine is that it drives water into your muscle cells. But because of that, you have to drink a lot more water than what your body would need without it. In order to stay hydrated properly. So that's one of the things with creatine is if you take it, make sure you drink another half to another full litre of water on top of what you normally would. But in terms of specifically how any side effects within that or anything else affects black people and white people, it's like, I cannot understand how different things will affect us and affect them because of genetic differences. But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like there's a lot more to that. And I don't know, it's like, I don't think it's so, no pun intended, I don't think it's as easy as saying, things are just black and white. Cause I feel like, I don't know, what if you're mixed? Then what?
You have different types of levels.
A lot of people would love to say, yo, the black gene is always dominant, rare, tear, but in some cases it's not, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Well, but the thing is, it's like, you know, when you say it's not black and white, then it's not. For my argument, it's showing you that it's not black and white, because there is a difference between ethnic groups. So it's definitely, we can't have a one diet rule for everyone. And even ethnic background, even when ethnic background do play a large, it's like saying, even up to the absorbing of vitamin D from the sun. The Caucasian can just been out in the sun for 30 minutes and he can get all the vitamin D he needs. Black people have to be out there for an hour. So there is clear genetic difference.
I know, I agree.
And even up to genes expressions as well. Even up to the fact of the why we're so athletic. There's a gene that is kind of corresponds with the factor of the levels of energy flows within blacks and white people. So there's a clear difference. So I wouldn't say that.
Of course, I hear that.
Yeah. I just want to make that clear, because we have to actually write. We have to write when it comes to certain food. We have to actually go, does it, like, Google, does it work for black people? We're going to have to do that, because...
No, trust me.
Yeah.
Easy, I fully agree with you with that. Like, because at the end of the day, it's like, whether you come from Africa, somewhere in Africa or the Caribbean, or somewhere in Europe or England or wherever, it's like there's different foods that work with different ethnicities, and there's different foods that work specifically different within those same ethnicities that ain't gonna work well with the other. Like, I don't know, rare chance, but there's some that don't work for Africans that works for Caribbeans and vice versa. In the same way that some might not work for Africans that works for Europeans and vice versa. So I do believe there's ethnic differences in terms of what we eat and how we eat that would benefit our bodies that might not benefit theirs and vice versa. I fully fuck with that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the same way how we how most black people can't tolerate a lot of cold weather, and how a lot of white people can't tolerate the sun, because you're not built for them things.
Yeah, that's genetic factors. It's genetic factors, clear genetic factors. Yeah, facts,
I don't know what's in white people's body that lets them tolerate the cold, but I know melanin allows us to tolerate the sun. They even tolerate, absorb it, so I get that. You absorb the sunlight, roll like Superman thing, absorb the sunlight. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When them man can't do it.
Yeah.
So I fully fuck with that and I get it. But again, I feel like even then, there's still some genetic differences amongst individuals in the same ethnic group.
Yeah.
That where that black man might need to tolerate this, that, and the other. That same black man can't.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like if we look at nutrition, it's so much things we have to look at. But even a case of like, for instance, I grew up in Jamaican household, yeah. But at the same time, I grew up in an English country. So I got them two different cultures there in terms of food that enters my household, where I didn't grow up with African people in the sense that I didn't grow up with Ghanaian, Nigerian, Congolese, whatever. And I know they've got food that I don't have in the Caribbean. Now, my body naturally ain't used to it. Because if I've never had it and I have it after 30 years, my body's going to be like, yo, what's this? We don't like this. Or, yo, we love this. What is this? So then you got to be like, yo, even the same, our same essential, the same people might have different tolerances for different food. That is natural to one, but not to the other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
facts.
It's a bit mad when you think of it like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, and the thing is, I don't look at it as it's a bad thing, naturally. I look at it as like, yo, well, that's for you to discover, because why not? Why would you not want to discover the more cultures, the more food? So it's like, yo, we should welcome that. But I also understand that there just might be some food that you can't tolerate, regardless of being black.
Yeah, well, nah, factual, man. No, man, that's a good build, man. That's a good build. You know what I mean? I think that's a good introduction, man. You didn't even introduce yourself to the platform, bro.
Oh, my bad. We've been in this for like 30, 40 minutes. I ain't even said nothing, bro. So obviously, like, I'm in the same group as Eazi, Forever Family, you know.
100.
You got Forever Family, it's been a long time, and they're still looking. Russ is gonna call my phone like, where you been? I saw you on the live, but you don't show your face. But well, if you don't know what Forever Family is, you ain't been watching Eazi's channel enough, so go jump on that. But outside of that, me and doing my own thing. I do personal training, more specifically I'm involved in bodybuilding and fitness and whatnot. And if you ain't guessed by the video, like, obviously I'm a supporter of eating meat and whatnot, but at the same time I'm a supporter of veganism. I'm a supporter of IET. I'm a supporter of conscious eating. I'm a supporter of eat what you want, do what works for you. And if you want to preach your thing to other people, by all means do it, but don't force it on them. Everybody's their own person. You know, I always have a saying which goes like, live your life wherever the F you want, just don't force it on other people's throats. If you have knowledge to share, then by all means everyone should welcome it. But it's like, yo, if it don't work for them, allow them, let them be. We are all people. Life is hard enough, let's do our thing.
100.
You know?
100.
You know, so I never do that to people. Go eat your steak, go eat your cow, go eat your chicken. I never do that to people. Like, if the plant life works for you, stick with the plant life.
My thing.
You know?
My thing. Yeah, man. That's the way, bro. So, and shout out where man can follow you. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Cause there's a lot of meat eaters and that.
So man's on the Instagram. Man's on the Instagram still mainly. I'm on TikTok, but for the most part, I only do the Instagram thing. Obviously, it's come from Instagram Live. You can follow my Instagram. This with a K, Khal Jacked Fitness. Yeah, Khal Jacked Fitness. And that's where all my fitness content is, because I already used my main Instagram page for anything more other than just chatting to Eazi, hitting up people right there. So maybe my fitness page is the go-to. It's Khal Jacked Fitness. But yeah, like I said, man's a PT as well, so shout at me if you need anything, you hit me. Yeah, man, facts up, boy. Yeah, man, I salute. We're gonna get yeah, mention your name, brother. Oh, Khal. I didn't mention my name, bro. Khal.
Brother.
We're gonna maybe we'll say, what's Khal Jacked? Khal Jacked Fitness, like Khal's my name, bro.
Hey, look, Matt's Fit, hey, Matt's Fit join as well, but boy, listen, it's gonna be a part 2, man. Hey, what are you saying for tomorrow, though?
I can't do evening. I can do afternoon because my work schedule's mad.
Yeah, I'd rather the morning anyway, bro.
Well.
I'd rather the morning.
I can do morning.
Yeah, bro. Why would it tomorrow morning then, bro? Like what? 1 o'clock.
That's good. Or even earlier. Earlier the better for me. So
earlier the better for me as well, bro. 12. Man can be 12. Matt's Fit, you hear it? 12 o'clock, Matt's Fit. I don't know if he's in there. I don't know if he come in and burst out.
He joined. He might be typing. He said he joined, didn't it?
Yeah. But if anything, yeah, man, we do a build. But yeah, I think we're gonna highlight a little bit of that. But I'm gonna be off that thing. I'm not trying to force no one. But it's gonna be a conversation about African spirituality, African concept. Yeah, this is what Eazi's gonna be on now for this month minimum. You know what I mean? Nothing about, you know what I mean, African content. That's what we're gonna do, man. But yeah, definitely I'll finish with a client at 12. Yeah, exactly. So we're on tomorrow then, bro. Yeah?
That sounds good, man.
Alright, cuz, yes. Hey, blessings, bro. Blessings. Yeah, you know,
I love Eazi. I appreciate you letting me join the team.
yeah, bro.
Matchfit, he's gonna upload to YouTube. Catch up if you can. But like you said, if we run part 2, that would be good anyway.
We do that. 100.
Alright, love, bro.
Alright, blessings.
Easy match.
Blessings.